It is announced that Tesla in Shanghai produced 44,000 vehicles in August. So that's a pretty good number given it was a 32,000 number the prior month in July. So obviously the stock is up today on this news. And then we also want to take a look at something called the 720 puts and their action and how that influences Tesla. This is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Thanks once again for joining us. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a repeat visitor, welcome back. We also want to thank our Patreon supporters. If you'd like daily updates on trading and investing to help in your success with investing and trading Tesla, please take some time to join us on Patreon. We also want to thank those of you who choose to like and subscribe, and note that this is a copyrighted broadcast. Any reuse of the information provided is prohibited. So we wanted to get into the fact that, hey, this has been a great week for Tesla. We pretty much have gone from about 710, now we're up to 760, but somewhat quietly. Tesla has about a 20-point sort of up or down each day is a new pattern that's been developed. And when we get information, for example, like what Electrek reported regarding 44,000 vehicles produced in Shanghai, it starts to give you an opportunity to have real numbers that you can work off of to try to understand how Tesla's numbers will look. In particular, questions can pop up like, well, if we extrapolate 44,000 into an entire year, let's say that's 600,000 vehicles at its current rate. We also were able to see things like growth rate of the production capacity in China. And so all those bits of numeric information start to give analysts, individuals, a way to anticipate where we're at and where we're going with Tesla for this year. Another thing that pops up obviously is, let's say for the quarter, if they average out of that factory, let's say 40,000 vehicles, that's 32,000 one month. Perhaps this last month we get to 48 or 50K. Let's say that's 3 months at 40,000, gives us 120K just from China. And then now if we get a similar number to how Fremont has been doing, we're now nicely above 200, heading for 300 or 250 to 300,000 vehicles produced for the quarter. And then we can look at profit off of that as a way to use those numbers effectively. So I believe that the fact that it's announcement that was made by the Chinese government allows analysts to leverage the use of those numbers in ways to sort of play around with what the numbers are going to look like for the quarter. And I therefore think that this could have a nice impact upward on the stock going into the next few days and going into the end of the month. So congratulations to Tesla and all the folks that are involved here. This also answers an interesting question, which is Tesla significantly impacted by the chip shortage? As you'll note, CNBC did report that there was a 4-day shutdown in Shanghai. But when I heard it, after hearing about how lines are shut down for maintenance, it sounded kind of in line with how things actually work in this regard, so it wasn't a huge worry. So one of the things about our channel that I think can be challenging is what I call the daily grind with no information to drive it. So yes, the stock price is rising, etc., but it's really nice to have legitimate data points that are driving what one might say about what's actually happening with Tesla. And it makes a lot more sense than, let's have a hope and prayer on what might occur. The other thing that I just have to say that I'm seeing going on right now is what I call institutional dollar cost averaging. So as we get a solid sense that operations at Tesla are legitimately sound and there's no craziness, other than some of the things Elon might do occasionally, there's this sense of, okay, you guys are delivering as expected, and now we can comfortably buy and hold your shares, and it's not as a big a deal as one would think. This is especially key because the money managers have to keep shifting to what's really working away from what's not, because incremental better returns than your competing money managers can influence greatly the number of individuals that are pouring cash in investing into your portfolios, if you will. The second thing we wanted to cover on this program is just the fact that, there is a interesting phenomenon happening. If you go to Yahoo Finance, Tesla, and then look at options, and then go to the 720 puts. Now, I'm kind of stunned. For puts expiring on Friday of this week, there are 30,000 of them at the 720 level, and 2,500 of them traded yesterday. It turns out that's the highest number of puts or calls on the schedule currently. And I have to say, wow, that's a very big number with an option that's 30 points out of the money. And clearly, the folks who purchased those are not expecting the stock to drop to that level. So the question that pops up is, why would you spend millions of dollars on something that will expire worthless? Answer, the reason why options were invented is large institutions own shares, and they wanted to find a way to help manage their potential losses. And this is an example of how it works. Namely, basically, they're hedging their portfolio positions. So my take on where we are right now is, as I said, what I call institutional dollar cost averaging. There are large institutions who are running out of ideas to invest in. They're going to have great returns. And so the answer then is that they can buy certain stocks that might be volatile, but they can also hedge themselves away from risk for those portfolios if they choose something that's somewhat unpredictable, which Tesla can be. So I am looking forward to sort of how this is going to play out. Clearly, the usual huge numbers of calls on Tesla, from everywhere from 750 all the way to 800. It was amazing last week because there are actually 30,000 calls at 800. And so it's kind of stunning to see 30,000 puts at 720 this week with only 2,500 of them trading. So we'll see how this plays out. But in general, the feeling right now with the volume and quality of the great fundamental information that's been provided is that Tesla is in a great position and is about to smash through into a new level of success and profitability, which we're going to know about certainly by the end of the month. But, as soon as we get some production from either Berlin or Austin, I think we're on a significant basis. I think we're going to be in a really, really interesting position. So I wanted to thank you for taking time to join us. Obviously, this is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Please remember to like and subscribe. We also want to thank our Patreon supporters. And remember, this is copyright information. We also next want to cover our health tips. Don't forget, prior to lovemaking, no more than a salad, because it allows the blood flow to go to other extremities. Thus that you can enjoy this. Also wanted to encourage you to consider not eating within 4 hours of going to bed, best minimum 2, to let that food digest. Any rate, this is Greg for Teslafaninsight. Tschüss German, au revoir French, Lahitra Hebrew, Choda Hafez Farsi, Staraziche Russian, Ni Hao Ma, Chinese, Kambawa, Japanese, Shalom Hebrew, Assalamu alaikum. And in Jamaica, we say enough respect, walk good man. Have a great day. Bye for now, and thanks for joining us.